So, what do you need for this super duper new system? Excuse me, this is dirty because I've been using it, but one child's bike inner tube. I've thrown away the box now, which is a bit unfortunate, but about 49-50 centimetres when stretched out. The actual, that's 33 centimetres diameter. So you need an inner tube. Place the inner tube. You notice on this is a, woo, look at the dust. This is a Kitty, and this has got the little flange here where the metal strap would have tightened the belt into. So just take the inner tube, and you only have to put the inner tube on once. So take that, put it in the centre, so that sits really nicely. I'm just going to check the video to make sure that so, one inner tube. This is 33 centimetres diameter. So you need an inner tube, obviously whatever size yours is, you've got to find something that fits. Take the inner tube, and you only have to fit it once. And put it around. Take the inner tube, okay. The inner tube is now around that flange and it fits really nicely. It's not tight, but it won't slip off on its own. It's caught nicely in that flange. Then you will need a plastic bucket. Now I couldn't find one, and I'm still on the lookout, but I couldn't find one that would fit full height. But this is perfect. Because I can change this so quickly, I don't mind changing over now. So this one is see-through, so you can see the shavings inside, which I'll show you later on. Now this fits perfectly, believe it or not, over the top of the holder. I've cut a little notch in there so that the inner tube valve can poke through. Now, because I originally thought that I could inflate that inner tube and grip this plastic container, there's a slight taper on it, which means that when I inflate that inner tube it pops off, and of course when this has got some weight in it, it's going to need an awful lot to grip that. So what I've done, I've just made this simple little stool, if you like. Obviously if you can find the right size container, you won't have a problem, but I would leave a little gap at the bottom. I've got two little bolts that stick up where the casters are, and that stops me. I could modify it, but that stops me from just sliding something directly in. But what you need to do, and I'll show you in a minute, you need to actually force the bucket so that it's held in place. When you inflate the inner tube, it will try and push the bucket down, but if you've got something underneath stopping it, the only thing that the inner tube is left to do is inflate inside that. You don't have to inflate it much either. So I've made this little holder, hold it in place, push that under, and you'll notice there's still a little play, which is perfect. I just made up this little wedge, slightly tapered, and pop it in there. Brilliant. That's all there is to it. Now, all that's left now is to inflate it. 1 second. Now you can probably see behind me I've got a shop air compressor. I know many people use that. I use it for my nail gun all the time. It's invaluable. But just this simple little bike pump, pop it on, fix it in place. I'm just trying to do this some out of your way, and I think it needs about 5 pumps. Alright, maybe a few more. You don't have to overinflate the inner tube, so there's no pressure on it. Just enough to push that inner tube out to the side, so it's obviously pushing against the metal, filling the gap up and pushing against the side of the plastic. Now that's firm, that's solid, and all you've got to do is switch her on, and you can use it just like you would the plastic bag, but because it's rigid and it's very easy, which I'm going to show you, to take off and replace. So let's turn her off, let her subside, let the air disperse. Good little machine, by the way. I got it with my Keaty Best Combi, which isn't the best machine in the world, but it's all that I could afford at the time. But this extraction unit is really powerful for what it is. A friend's got one. I'm not sure what make it is. And it could barely suck air out of a paper bag, but this one's really strong. So once this is gone, we'll let all the dust die down. Just let the air out. Take the weight away. Obviously you'll have a bit of weight in there, but that's why I say the smaller bucket might be easier. But if you dropped it down onto the foot plate, you know, you can't drop it. Now it does catch in there. But just take the bucket out. This stays in place. It's really easy. Go and empty it in your normal space. Come back. Now let me show you how quick this is, because this has really impressed me, and this has gone so well. I'm over the moon. So I come back in. I pop it. I put that in. Whoops. Pop that in. Get my pump. Nice and sealed. And away we go again. One good thing about this system that I've found is, apart from this, as you know, this tends to hold the dust and it's very difficult to keep clean. You can't take it off, put it in the washing machine every 5 minutes. But when I had the plastic bag on there, every time I started up afresh, air used to seep out somewhere, and with it came a sawdust. With this system, it is completely sealed. The bottom part, there is absolutely no air to come through at all whatsoever. It's more efficient, safer, cleaner, really does the job. So I'd recommend it. If anybody's got any questions, you know, I've knocked this up myself and I haven't got all the answers, but I can tell you what experience I've had with it. And if anybody knows where to buy a larger, what do we need? Allow myself 2 centimetres. I've got 77 from the bottom, sorry. I've got 77 centimetres I want the bucket, and of the same diameter. But I hope you like it. You know, go away and make your own, because you know, I'm over the moon with it. See you soon.